In this e-learning tutorial, we are going to learn about the user-defined functions in the Python. The user-defined functions is used to define their own functions by the user. We can define the function first. It's a function definition. We can define a new function name and also the list of statements that will execute when the function is called. The function name cannot be used as a Python keyword. Alphabets, numerals, and special characters are allowed while defining the function name. The function name cannot be started with a number. Giving the same name to the variable and the function should be avoided. So this is a syntax for the creating the functions in the function definition. So here in this function definition, here the def is a keyword and function name is the name of the function, and here we are going to pass a list of parameters. This is an optional one, and the list of statement and the return expressions. So here the declaration will always begins with a keyword called as a def and the function name, and the function can take a parameter or an argument that is an input within the parenthesis is followed by the colon, and the block of statement will be get executed. The parameters and arguments. It is a value or expression passed to the function between the parentheses. The four types of formal argument using when the function can be called. The first one is the required argument. Here we are going to assign the parameters to the function at the time of function calling. Argument passed to a function in the correct order. So whatever the order that you have given it in while creating the function, the same order that you are going to give it while passing the function. The number of arguments should also match with the defined number of parameters. The next one is the keyword argument. Here send the argument with the key is equal to value per order. The order of argument does not the matter here. Next one is a default argument. Here use the default parameter value. When we call the function without the parameter, here it uses as a default value whatever that we have defined. Next one is the variable length argument. Here we can add the two asterisks before the parameter name in the function definition, and also we can add a single parameter names also in the function definition. So here the number of variable length argument is not a matter in the variable length argument. The next one is how we are going to call, once you have created the function, now how we are going to call the functions. So to call a function, we are going to use the function name followed by the parenthesis. Here input parameter and argument ought to be placed within this calling parenthesis. Here is a simple example for the function. Here def is a keyword, here the function name is my function, here no argument or parenthesis is used, and colon, just I have print the hello Python, and here this is the function call. The function name is the function of, this is the function call. So when you run this, execute this program, it will be displayed the hello Python. The next one is the return statement. It is used to exit the function. Here the function may or may not return a value. If the function returns a value, it is passed back by the return statement as an argument to the caller. If it does not return a value, we simply write with the no argument. Here is a simple example. Here def is a keyword and my function is the function name, and here x is as the parameter, or we can say it as an argument. Here I have written the 4 star x. Just I have written like this. Now I am going to print my function. Here I am going to call this function of 2. Here the value of the x is passed as a 2. So when you are going to return a value that is a 4 star 2, it is 8. The first value it will get printed as an 8. The next one I am going to call the same function, but the parameter value is a different one, that is a 4. When you pass here the 4, that is return the 4 star 4, it is a 16. The next function is another parameter value. Here I have passed as a 6. When you passed as a 6 to this function, here the 4 star 6 is equal to 24. The output will be printed 8, 16 and the 24. Here now we are going to see one example of the each functions. Here this is an example for the function with the required arguments. Here what I have been used is here a function name called as an AVG of number. Here I have passed the two argument. One is called as an x1 and another one is a y value. Now what I am going to do is print average of I'm going to print this x value and also this y value. What the result is I'm going to do is I'm going to add these two x and y value and I'm going to divide it by the 2. So when I'm going to call this function, that is the function name is an AVG of number. Here I am going to pass the value of x value as a 7 and y value as a 12. So this is the parameters. Here the function call is an AVG underscore number. So when you pass this function, so that is a 7 plus 12 which is divided by the 2. So the answer is 7 and the 12 is the answer is the 9. So average of 7 and 12 is 9. The next example is the function with the keyword argument. Here def my function of, here I have passed the 3 parameters, child 3, child 2 and the child 1. Print the child 2 is what, here I have used the concatenation operator and whatever the value that is in the child 2 will be get printed over here. Now I am going to call a function. Here I have given the key is equal to value. For child 1 I have given the value as AAA and child 2 I have given the value as BBB and child 3 CCC. So whenever here the child 2 plus child 2, whatever the value that is in child 2 is BBB. So the answer child 2 is BBB will be get printed. So the next example is a function with a default argument. Here I have declared a function called as a my function. Here I have passing the parameter value as a default value, that is a country is equal to India. Just I have print I am from the which country, that is here concatenated. I have first to call the function. Here in this function just I have passed the value pass the parameter value as a US. If I have passed the parameter value, that value will be printed. If I have not passed the parameter value as an input, by default whatever the value that is specified in the default, that will be get printed. So first one I am from the US will be get printed, and also second one I am from Australia, and third one here no function is to be passed, parameter value is passed. So here I am from the India, it's get printed, then I am from the Canada value get printed. The next example is a function with the variable length argument. Here in this function, here I have used the 2 asterisk dot kid. What I have used here is print his name of kid of name. Here see in this function, when I call the function, my function, I have passed the 3 values. F name is equal to AAA, L name equal to BB, and name is equal to. So whatever the value that I have passed here, will be all passed to this kid of function. So when I want to display this kid of name is, here the name is a RR, so the value will be his name is RR. If suppose here I have passed the F name, so it will be print as his name is AAA. So like that, this is a variable length argument. Suppose if I have given a single star, the single star is nothing but you can access the tuples, tuple values to access. So here I have given the function my function. In this, here I have passed the parameter fruit, in the fruit which I consist of a mango, apple and the banana. So the value of mango is 0 and apple is 1 and the banana is the 2. If suppose I am going to take the value of 1 means so 0 and 1. So now the fruit is apple is get printed. If suppose I have given it as a 0, what it will be printed is the fruit is mango. If suppose I have given it as a 2, so the fruit is mango, banana will be get printed. So this is the use of the variable length arguments. The next one is, so without passing the argument, how the function is used. Here just I have used a variable name. Here no parameter value is passed. Just I have print the stored statement and just I call this function whatever it is. So these statement which is called as a function definitions, and here just I have called the function call. So only these two statement, hello Python tutorial, welcome to Python programming, will be gets printed. The next example is a function with a return statement. So here I have named the function as a sum. Here I have passed the two parameters. Here the statement is total is equal to a plus b. The value of a and b will be get summed and will be stored in a variable called the total. Now I am going to return this total value. So these statement which is called as a function definition. Here I have passed the x value as a 45 and y value as a 20. So this is the parameters to the function. Now what I am going to do is, now I am going to print the sum of x and the y. So what is the value of x is 45 and the y value is the 20. Is the sum of x and y. Here is a function call. The x value is 45 and y value is 20. So when you get the sum, it displays the output as a 65. So this is a return statement. So next one is, I am going to use the function within another function. Now what I have used is, first I have declared one function that is called as a print t, and another function that I have used as a new print underscore new underscore print tt. So in this function I am going to call this function print tt. The two times I have called. This is the first function call, and what I have did is, the next one is, I am going to call this another new function, that is a new underscore print tt. This is a calling of the second function. Here that is a function within another function. So what it will going to do is, here first when you're going to print a tt, that hello Python tutorial is welcome to programming will be get printed. The next one what it's going to do is print tt, this same thing will be get printed. And what the new print of, then if I'm going to call this one, what it will do is, here the same this print will be going to call, and this will be going to call. So two times it will be get printed. Next one is a recursive function. It is a function can call itself is called as a recursive function. So any input parameter or an argument ought to be placed within this calling parenthesis. So the main use of this, why you're going for the recursive function is, you're going to break the big problems into the small problems and further into the small problems and so on. At end of the solution of all the small sub problems or collectively helps in finding the solutions to this big problem. The main advantages of recursive functions are easier to write, readable one, and it reduces the lines of the code. And still some of the disadvantages are there in using the recursive function. So not all problems can be solved. Debugging is difficult in recursion, and memory overhead is included in the recursive function. So this is an example for the recursive function. Here I have declared a function name called as an factorial. I have used the parameters as a num. Here I am going to check if the num value is equal to 1, it returns 1 value. Else it what going to do is, I am going to perform the factorial value. If suppose I have given the num value as a 5, here I am going to check 5 is equal to 1. The condition becomes false. So it goes to the else part and it going to calculate the factorial of the numbers. So here what it is going to do, in the first step, see the factorial of, so here the num value is a 5 value and the factorial of num value is 5 minus 1, it is a 4. In the next step, what it will be happen is the 5 star factorial of the 4 minus 1 is 3. In next step, 4 star, 5 star, 4 star 3, and factorial of 3 minus 1 it is 2. And another step, 5 minus 4, 5 into 4 into 3 into 2, and the factorial of 2 minus 1 it is the 1. Up to this it is, so 5 star, 4 star, 3 star, 2 star, 1. The factorial is to be the 120. Here again the 1 value is there, so 1 is equal to 1, the condition becomes a true, so it returns the 1 value. So this is called as a recursive function, that is the function is going to call the function itself, that is called the recursive function. The next one is an anonymous function. So anonymous functions are the functions created using the lambda keyword. So not defined using here the def keyword. It can pass any number of arguments to the lambda form functions, but they return only one value in the form of the expression. Here the syntax is lambda arguments colon expression. X is equal to lambda colon a plus b. So print of x of 5 value. So here what it is happened, here I have passed the value as a 5. So the value of a is the 5. So 5 plus 12 it is 15, it is a 20. See in the next example here a comma b. Here I am going to pass the two arguments, that is the 2 and the 6. So a value is 2 and b value is 6. So 6 star 12 it is a 2 star 6 it is a 12 gets printed. Here and see in this example, here I have passed the a comma b comma c. So 3 input parameters have been passed, that is a 7, 9 and the 12. So I am going to add these 3 values and the output will be the 28. Here see in this example, here I have used the function name, declared a function name def of my function of n. Here the value will be passed. Return I am going to use the lambda a colon a star b. So a star n. So here I have used a function variable called as a my doubler, which is equal to, I am going to call the function as 3. Here the n value will be the 3. So here print my doubler of 11. So that is here, that is n value is 3 and a value it is so 11. So 11 into 3 it is 33. The output will be the 33. So this is called as an anonymous function.